All right. So I'm interviewing you for my English class
Hmm.
that for this project that I have to do because I read this book called Tuesdays with Morrie,
Right.
and basically it's about this guy, college professor, who obtained ALS later in his life in his mid 60s,
Wow.
something like that.
Hmm.
It's very sad, but it was a beautiful story because it's about the author who reconciles with the main character Morrie, hence the name Tuesdays with Morrie, and they start talking, and every Tuesday they meet up, and they basically have a class about life. So
Right.
there'd be subjects like money, relationships, love,
Hmm.
sadness, dealing with death, all these topics that no one really wants to talk about.
Right.
But because Maury's experiencing like ALS, like
Right.
he's feeling this hardship, he's so much more open with talking about these very hard topics.
Right. Saying exactly
And
how he feels. Okay.
yeah. So one thing that I learned from this book though
Hmm.
was one thing that I found was really important is people need to be more open with each other. Where like people today are
Right.
so hooked up with their phones, other material things, but this book has really taught me that you need to be more present with people around you, and like know how to express your feelings, like not just put them, somewhere that no one else can see, but like be open with expressing your love, expressing all your emotions so that you can live life to the fullest, because sometimes we forget that we take things for granted, and then we don't really realize that the things that we care about the most is about to be gone until it's actually happening.
Exactly.
And uh, you know, learning from this, and you're someone that I look up to a lot. What's the greatest advice? From all the years that you've been living, like what's the greatest advice you can give me to be a better person, or pursue happiness better?
Okay. Well, going off of what you just said, one of the things I know way back when I was pretty close to your age, back in the hippie-like days, right? Then there was all these different poets and things that went ahead and talked. There was a guy there called Gibran, and you still hear quotes from him now. And one of the things he said is, if you never experience all of your sadness, you never experience all of your joys. And that's one of the things there when you talk about talking with people or opening up to people. Um, you a lot of times when you're doing that, not only are they getting a chance to know you, you get a chance to get to know yourself better as well. A lot of times
Yeah.
by voicing what you're actually thinking. I mean, you got these thoughts in your head. A lot of times they're kind of jumble, but by expressing them, even just hearing yourself say them, then it helps you out a lot in going through life. I guess if I was the best piece of advice I would give you is to, and it's corny, would be to always take the what I call the high road. There's so many situations that you get into where you can take the advantage or you can get even, um, where someone has went ahead and not treated you exactly as they should have. But by taking the high road, in other words, by going ahead there and having some forgiveness, treating them right, um, there's a couple things that it does. One is it goes ahead and teaches them how they should be acting. You feel better. You don't feel that hate in your heart that tears you apart. That goes ahead and got your stomach turning in knots and stuff like that. It's kind of like wiping it off. It's not that it doesn't matter, because it always matters. But at the same time, you have to go ahead and think about yourself as well. By going ahead here, by either by getting even or by being angry, what am I doing to myself? And one of the other things here, again, being kind of selfish, is it also goes ahead and gives the other person a control over you. So they can control whether you're happy or whether you're sad by coming close to you, being away from you, by saying this, by saying that. And you should never give anybody that kind of control. So I guess that would be the thing there. Something else that, and I think you just kind of asking me, just kind of like my philosophy on life, would be to whatever you do or whatever you're involved with, always make it as though somebody cares. Uh, you see that in whether, I mean, I like to mess with cars and stuff like that, and I like fishing and different things like that. With any of those type items, then when I'm doing it, I like caring about what it is, and then it brings me joy. I also like going ahead sharing. That's another thing there. Uh, it's like the more you give, the more you get. And I know I'm kind of bouncing around. I wish if I'd written it all down, that I could probably put it in some kind of nice order for you. But these are just kind of thoughts coming off the top of my head. Okay, you got any more questions for me? I guess would be the thing there.
No, like those points that you brought up, they're like they're actual things that I think that I still need to work on. Even though I do a pretty good job about doing it,
Right.
I feel that there's still more that I can do. 'Cause, I mean, you can always be more passionate about the things you are passionate about. You can always be more thoughtful of the people around you.
That's
You can
true.
always do more, but
And
yeah,
and I guess also I always figure there's a reason for why you're here. I mean, again, we don't know what it is, um, but I think if you look around life, there's so many things that happen to you. Um, okay, I'm spread out here a
yeah,
bit,
that's fine.
but what happens is um, there's a lot of good things out here in life that people go ahead and just let blow right over their head. Whether it's a conversation with you, whether it's walking down the street, there's lots of good things that come into your life, and sometimes you got to look for them. It's observing life, noticing the beauty of the trees, the beauty of the way the street is laid out. Okay, all these things here are joys that you can go ahead and you can feel. And if you're looking at these things and enjoying these things, you'll find things that will come into your life that you'll be able to use later. They'll make life easier for you. Um, it's almost like sometimes it feels almost like kind of a religious experience in a way, and that um, again things will happen. Someone will say something to you again, and if you take it again in that positive type way, there you'll be able to go ahead and use it in a positive type way in a different situation. Um, Trying to think of giving you some examples right now. Nothing comes to mind, but I know that has happened to me over and over again, where I went ahead there and something that seemed to mean nothing, and whether it's a conversation with you, with your brother, with Joe Blow up the street there, pay attention to what's going on, what's going around you, and again, if you look at it in a positive way rather than saying, "Man, I sure wish this person quit talking to me." I got other things to do. I want to go watch TV. I want to go do this. All right, sit there and spend some time, and I promise you, there's something good coming out of there. You just have to be open to it to let it come in, and then you'll be able to go ahead and use it. Your life will be better. Your life will be better for it. So.